geographic region. I mean, I've got a member now that's in Santa Ana. I had a member for about a year that was in North San Diego County. I've got a member that's in South San Diego County. And I'm kind of really focusing my business on East San Diego County. So it's really been actually great for me with going to Zoom.
Yeah, well, that was why I was clinging on to them, because we get a lot of people coming on the calls that wouldn't be able to come in person. But I just,
Well, so Michelle, I just thought I'd let you guys know I've got this set so he can do his presentation where I'm live streaming it to YouTube.
Nice.
And so we did that for last month's presentation. So if I figure that way, if people couldn't attend because of whatever reason, his presentation could then be up on YouTube, and then our members could watch it at their leisure. So
that's much better than recording it through Zoom, because the file's too big through Zoom.
Plus the video quality is really poor, and the audio quality are poor because of the way that Zoom has to try to save everything. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it. So yeah. So Dave, hi, I'm Eric.
Hi Eric, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and so we're live right now. So if you want to do your presentation, we can. You can do that, and then people can watch it on YouTube whenever it's convenient for them.
Sure. Okay. And then you'll be able to share the link to that YouTube video?
Yeah, so it's actually going up on the Placentia Chamber of Commerce YouTube site,
okay.
YouTube channel.
Right.
And so therefore, Michelle can share that with folks in the next newsletter or whatnot. But it'll be up there. It'll be archived up there with everything else. And so then people can look at it, or you can direct people to it if you want to have your own folks take a look at it.
Okay, sure. Actually, I know you just mentioned not recording on Zoom. Could I record it anyway? Because that way I can cut out little snippets of it to use as training videos.
Okay.
If that's okay. I'll just record it on my own computer.
Recording in progress.
Oh, so you're recording it. Okay.
Here we are. Just started.
Okay. Let's see.
I just want to welcome everybody to our monthly business success series. It's hard to say. And it's our great pleasure to have a professional speaker who does a lot of masterminds with small businesses like the ones that we service as a chamber. And so we have, Dave is here. His passion is to empower others to be wildly successful and find meaning in their mission. He will help you discover your mission, design huge goals, and create transformational action plans for exceptional, important accomplishments. I guess I should have shut my phone off. So I just wanted to introduce Dave Aldo Ray. Dave, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle. Hi, everybody. Glad to be here with the Placentia Chamber of Commerce from sunny San Diego. Down here, it's pretty nice. It's been a little hot lately, but overall, enjoying the beautiful Southern California weather. So today we have a while to chat and to talk, and I have quite a few different little things I've thrown together that I think would be of real interest to everybody on working your business, mindset, marketing, just all kinds of different things that I think are really useful for the small business owner, someone like yourselves who are trying to, maybe juggle 12 different things at once and maybe going a little crazy trying to do it all together. So as we start here, I'd like to maybe, if it's okay, can I tell a little joke?
Sure.
Okay, so this is a good dad joke. This is very clean. So there were 4 women sitting at a coffee shop together, and the first woman says, well, my son is a priest, and when he walks into the room, everyone says, Father. And so the second woman says, well, my son is a bishop, and when he walks into the room, Everyone says, Your Grace. So the third lady says, well, my son is a cardinal. And when he walks into the room, everyone says, Your Eminence. So the fourth woman, not to be outdone, said, well, my son is 6'4". He's got huge, broad shoulders. He's got blonde hair and blue eyes. And when he walks into the room, everyone says, oh, my God. So I will say that I stole that from somebody. So like they say, plagiarism is the sincerest form of flattery. But anyway, so a little bit about me. Michelle already kind of read my little bio intro. I'm kind of a regular guy. I came up from a blue collar upbringing and was fortunate enough to go to the Naval Academy in Annapolis for college and got an engineering degree. I spent some time in the Navy, did about 10 years active duty, and then I stayed in the reserves for another 18 years. So I finally retired out of the Naval Reserves with 28 years of service. When I was a kid, I was always a math geek. I was one of those, as we used to say in Boston, I was one of those smart kids. And I will say, though, that I think I'm a little ADD because I'm always, kind of flitting around from thing to thing to thing. I'm always having to really keep a hold on that real tight. I do take real interest in a lot of details. I'm kind of a nitpicker. But I do love to write. So I've been putting a lot of effort into writing the last couple of years. I have a book manuscript that I'm right now in the process of getting published, trying to find an editor and a book cover designer. And that's all about communicating, speaking and writing clearly so that you get what you're looking for, how to be effective in your communication. So kind of like what you're looking to get. And so I even have a little title, a little fun title. I call myself the Verbal Vigilante. I say, when I come into town, there's not a typo left standing. But I am running my second business now as Mind Masters here in San Diego. When I first got out of the Navy, I did what a lot of people do, had a hobby of photography and thought, well, I'll just turn that into a business. So didn't know anything about business, knew a little bit about photography and made a go of it for about 6 years. And when I was doing that is where I actually discovered Mind Masters. So I was a client of Mind Masters back in the 90s. Did that for about 6 years, ended up working with my wife in her business for a few years, and then ended up getting a job, which a lot of people do from time to time. And I did that for about 18 years doing training for the Navy. So I have a pretty extensive background in developing training scenarios and executing those training scenarios, both in a kind of a technical way and even role playing quite a lot of different things. When I finally got the bug to become an entrepreneur again, I contacted Barbara from Mind Masters and we discussed having us work together. And so I've been working as a Mind Master licensee for about the last 4 years or so, and just loving it, meeting all the small business owners and getting a chance to talk to people like yourselves. So let's see. So let's get started. And I'd like to give you what my intentions for the day would be here with you folks. Number one, I want to make sure that everybody feels welcome and included in the discussion. I want to make sure that everybody feels like they can contribute and they feel comfortable adding their comments. And I'll be asking for comments from time to time throughout the discussion. And lastly, that they can go away with some really good nuggets, things that they can take with them to actually put in place right in their business today, maybe a different perspective of how to do something that they're already doing, or maybe trying something new that they've never done before, or maybe just being reminded of something that they used to do, but they forgot about and they need to get back into doing it again. So those three things, if I can do those three things and then get us out on time, I will be very happy with myself. So the first thing I like to do is ask Michelle and Eric here, what brings you joy? what either in a personal sense or as a business owner, what really gets you excited? Um, you have I know there's kind of a off the cuff here, but something that maybe even happened this morning on your way out the door, or something that happened earlier this week, something with a client or with a family member that you found a moment where you were saying, "Oh, that was really cool. I really like that." What is one thing, and just one thing, that really brings you joy?
For me, as a fencing and archery coach, what
Mm,
I like to see sometimes in my students is these little breakthrough moments where we've been working on something for a while. They've been trying to get this move down or this concept down, and then it's almost like a little light bulb goes on, and suddenly,
yep.
woo! It happens, and they
Oh
finally
yeah.
get it. And so that's something that I find very very gratifying when that happens.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. As well as not killing each other.
Well, that's that. You have to have a little bit. You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, right? That's what we say.
Okay, good, good. Michelle, anything that you can think of?
I've kind of reflected on my life as it's gone forward, and it just I really like helping people. I always have.
Okay,
And it gives
good.
me gratification to know that I've made a difference in somebody's life, whether it's personally or their businesses. That's why I love my job.
Excellent,
So,
excellent.
I love when someone says, that I've given them information, or, they've experienced something new that they've never experienced before. And I've been able to help a member, really, or anybody. It's pretty cool.
Perfect, perfect. Well, actually, those are both things that really give me joy as well. And we're going to be talking about some of those things today, actually. So that was pretty amazing. Okay, so the first little thing I'd like to do is a little exercise. And I'm going to ask for some feedback after we're done here. It's a little visualization exercise, but it's visualization in kind of the different way than we usually use it in the business coaching area. We're not going to like visualize some goals or some end results. We're going to visualize just a scene. I want you to get this image in your mind. So what I'm going to ask you to do is think about something in as much detail as you can muster. So we're going to be looking at visualizing like a scene out at the park or downtown or at the beach or in an airplane or just something. You're doing something, and I want you to think about, where are you, why are you there, who's with you, what kind of a day is it, what part of the year is it, are there other people with you, or are you by yourself, what are you doing, what's the weather like, just every aspect of what you can conjure up as far as what this scene in your mind looks like. So let's get started on this. I'd like you to just kind of get really comfortable in your seat. Just kind of wiggle your butt a little bit and get nice and comfortable. There's no fabric pulling on your pants or your skirt. Relax, lean back in your seat if you can, and then just take a couple of really nice deep breaths. Just deep, breathe in, and then just breathe out, nice and relaxed. Kind of like they do in yoga, but we're not going to hold it. Just relax. Another deep breath
I'm live streaming
in and out,
uh,
and then just get
Chamber
nice
of
and
Commerce
nice
event.
and comfortable.
Yeah.
Put your feet on the floor. You can take your
So
shoes off if you'd like.
it should be over at
So what
like
we're going to do, I'm going to
12:30.
give you a few moments here to visualize this scene. And again, just visualize it in as much detail as you can. You can close your eyes if you'd like. You don't have to, but sometimes it helps. And I want you to think about yourself being at the beach. You're at the beach. Okay, that's it. No more time. Stop thinking. So you had 2 seconds to think about yourself at the beach. And if Michelle and Eric are able and would like, I'd like to get some feedback. Anybody willing to play here with me?
Live on the
Michelle?
edge.
Okay, Eric. Okay, so you're at the beach. What, well, first of all, why were you at the beach? Was there an event going on or what were you doing?
Uh, I was at the beach because you told me to go to the beach.
Okay. What time of day was it? Morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime?
I have no idea. The last time I was at the beach was maybe 40 years ago. I mean, I don't like the beach, so maybe I'm not your best subject for this. It's daytime. You've got the beach in the background behind you, sure.
Okay. And were there people on the beach?
Sure, there were people on the beach. And they were wearing bathing suits, if that's your next question.
Okay. Were there any kids or was it all adults?
Oh, there's always kids at the beach, and
Okay.
dogs, and frisbees.
Okay. All right. And then what time of year was it? Was it summer? Was it spring?
You can only go to the beach in the summer. I don't.
Oh, geez.
There's no other time of the year that you can go.
Okay. Was it sunny or was it overcast?
Sunny, of course.
Okay. And were there little puffy white clouds floating through the sky? Or was it the May gray that we get in Southern California?
Uh, no clouds at all. Just
Okay. So clear
pure
blue sky
azure
though?
skies. Yes.
Okay, there you go. And was it was it the ocean beach or was it a lake?
Oh, it was an ocean. The waves were coming in gently.
Gently. Okay.
Yes.
So not big crashing waves, kind of slow lopping waves, right?
Yes.
And the beach that you were at, if you go back away from the water, did you go into a parking lot or did you go into like trees and bushes?
None of the above. A cliff.
A cliff. Okay, there you
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Okay. And as you visualized this scene, were you
Data
down
analysis shows too many variables.
Sorry, that's my phone now going off.
as you were visualizing this scene, were you down low like you were sitting on the sand, or was it up at eye level like you were standing?
I was standing.
Okay.
I mean, you're not
Okay.
going to sit on the beach. Then you get sand in all kinds of uncomfortable places. So
Okay.
that's why I
Michelle, you
don't
want
go
to
to
take a
the
stab
beach.
at this?
Sure. I like the beach more than Eric does.
Yeah.
What time of the year was it?
Probably it was cooler, so I'm gonna say either spring or beginning of winter.
Okay. And what time of day was it?
It was during the day. It was sunny.
Okay. And why were you there?
I love the beach, and so I go a lot of times just to recharge.
Okay. Were you there with somebody?
Nope.
Okay.
I would
And
be
were there other people on the beach?
I'm sorry.
Were there other people on the beach?
Nope.
Okay. And did you see maybe like seagulls flying through the air, or were there like no animals?
No, just the crashing waves, the sound of the crashing waves.
Okay. And the sun, was it a sunny day or was it an overcast day?
Definitely sunny.
Sunny. Okay. And were you also either standing up or were you sitting down on a chair?
Definitely standing up for the same reasons Eric wasn't sitting down.
Okay. All right. So the reason I do this exercise is to show people when you have a kind of a directed focus with your thinking, how powerful the brain is. So in just 2 seconds, you were able to put this whole like event kind of together as far as like all the specifics that we talked about. You were able to kind of conjure all that up in your mind within just 2 seconds. And so what we use in Mind Masters sometimes is very focused attention, very focused goal setting. And I like to use this example just so that people can see how powerful the subconscious and the conscious working together can be to create things for you. Because as we all know, when you want to build something, or even if you're just organizing an event, putting a float together for a parade, whatever it is, you have to visualize it in your mind first before you can actually create it in real life, in real time, in real 3D structural physical things. So the brain being focused on an activity or a task with very specific guidance can put together just an amazing amount of information, an amazing amount of detail. So just hold that thought. We're going to be talking about some businessy things in a minute, but just be thinking about that in terms of what your mind and your conscious and your subconscious working together are capable of doing for you when you put it towards a task. So one of the things that we do in Mind Masters is we talk about strategic thinking and strategic planning. As a very, very quick example here, I did talk with a friend at the Chamber of Commerce last week. We had a little strategy session. She's planning on selling her business in about 2 years. You know, she's been in business for quite a number of years. And so we thought about, you know, all these different things as far as, you know, her current situation, what she's doing, how she's delegating things, or what she's in charge of as the owner, her staff, her income, her cash flow, her equipment, what equipment needs to be changed out maybe in the next couple of years, any sort of schedule for replacing the inventory and the assets. And we thought about all these things in relationship to having her exit out of the business. So she had a lot of things that she'd actually thought about, but there was still quite a number of things that she hadn't thought about. So by talking it through and thinking, okay, how am I going to be situating myself for retirement? Well, I'm going to sell the business outright, stay on part-time as a consultant, maybe 10 hours a week, get some sort of a residual salary, or maybe take some sort of regular payments on the sale from the new owner, whatever she had to do. We got a chance to really think in depth about all the things that she's going to have to put in place over the next couple of years to be in a position to actually sell her business profitably and retire. So when you have those types of projects that come up, whether it's hiring your very first employee, or maybe say, for example, renting or leasing some big piece of office equipment, or moving from a home office into a commercial office, or expanding your business by bringing in new products and services, or expanding to a new target market, a new target ideal client, whatever those types of big projects are, you can basically task your brain, task your subconscious to be thinking about, what do I need to do? What do I need to think about in order to make this a successful project, in order to successfully hire a good employee for the first time that will align with my values and be an asset to the business, rather than like some people end up having with their very first employee. It just doesn't work out at all. It's a mess. It ends up costing them a lot of time and money, and it ends up just being very painful, and they end up, either the employee quits, so they have to fire them within about 3 to 4 months, or deciding you want to move out of your home office and going to find some place that maybe is the wrong part of town, or it's too expensive for your cash flow, whatever it is. You want to ensure your success on any of these projects. So by tasking your subconscious with, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this profitable? How am I going to make this fun? How am I going to make this successful? You will, and it's kind of hard to explain how it works, but you will get the answers that you need. It could be things that you have to go investigate, ideas that you realize you're going to have to go get an answer to. Maybe you have to get a certification. Maybe you have to get a license. Maybe you have to find out the rules and regulations of leasing some office somewhere. Maybe you have to get some help. You have to delegate out to some other consultant or some other company to do a piece of this for you. But by tasking your subconscious to think about this particular project, you will get the answers that you need in order to make it a successful endeavor, rather than ending up just kind of grasping at straws and picking this and picking that, and ending up missing out on a real key piece of information that makes the difference between having it be a successful project to having it be an unsuccessful project. So I want you to be thinking about that. So what I would like to do now is maybe ask, and we have a new visitor here. Andy has checked in recently. I'd like to find out from you folks, maybe one question per person of what you would like to get some information on today, maybe an idea or a situation that you're either going through or that someone you know is going through. And I'll write down those answers or those questions, and we'll talk about those. We kind of, in a little bit of a way, maybe play stump the chump to see if I can come up with a good answer for you. But if there's anything that you'd like to talk about now, I can take a request from you folks on a couple of different business questions.
Can you be clear? I mean, give some example. I'm not quite sure what you're asking for.
Well, when I talked with Michelle the other day, she said that maybe some of the people in the meeting today would be interested in some marketing ideas, or maybe some time management ideas, or maybe some employee relations ideas. So maybe you or your friend, another business associate is having an issue. Maybe their marketing isn't working out, or they're having a hard time getting things done. Maybe they never seem to get their projects completed on time. Any of those types of issues, we can note those, and then we can actually talk about those in some specifics.
Well, I certainly like the idea of the time management. So that's I think that will probably be useful for a lot of people.
Okay, great. Any other thoughts or any other questions?
Since I'm working from home, I'll go ask my spouse. I'm sure she'll have a long list of problems that I have that you
there you go.
You can fix for me.
I know.
Yes.
Yep. Well, a lot of us are home businesses. I'm a home business myself, so I do know. In fact, my wife and I have our own separate home businesses. So I know the trials and tribulations of staying motivated and all that stuff. Let's see. Well, let's talk about one more thing, and then we'll get into Eric's question about time management. Does everybody's heard of Bill Gates, I think, right? Have you ever heard of him? He does this thing called, he takes a think week. Have you heard of those things? Okay, this is something he's been doing for many, many years. What he'll do once a year, he'll go away for about a week, and he'll take a big bag of books with him, like a big shopping bag full of books and his notebooks, and he will go away. He'll leave, well, I guess they left Melinda now anyway, but even before they were getting divorced, he would leave Melinda with the kids and go off to a little cabin somewhere. And he would just think about things. He would just think about kind of like big ideas for his company, where he wants to take the company. He'd read all these great management books and big idea kind of books from other, coaches and consultants and business leaders, big CEOs from the different companies. And he'd get all these great ideas. And so he would take this whole week to kind of hold himself away and just think about things, just put all these great thoughts together on ways he could improve Microsoft, new products, new services. And so I have actually done that myself for an afternoon for like 2 or 3 hours. And I can absolutely say that it gives you some amazing ideas. What I can suggest and recommend that people do, all small businesses, is to take, maybe twice a year, go away, not go away, but go someplace, maybe to a local park, to a local beach, somewhere that you just find really comforting. I like parks and big areas with trees and bushes, because you get a high concentration of oxygen. It really helps your brain. But anywhere that you feel comfortable, just sit down and schedule it in your calendar so you know you're going to be able to do it, and give yourself like a couple of hours, 2 or 3 or 4 hours, to go and just sit quietly and take a notebook and just take a think afternoon. And what will happen is when you first get there, you maybe bring a bottle of water or a bottle of soda, maybe a snack or two, an apple or some granola bars or something, and you find a nice place and you sit down and you have your notebook with you, and you're relaxing and you're hearing the birds chirp or the waves crash on the beach or whatever it is. And then you'll start thinking about all these things that you have to do. Like, oh, I got to remember to, stop by the store on the way home, or, oh, I forgot to take the roast out of the freezer this morning. Oh my God. So your brain will just flood with all these, kind of not really important, but not really unimportant, but it's just these random thoughts. And that'll happen, and that's fine. I wouldn't worry about that because that's completely normal. But after about maybe 5 or 10 minutes of just sitting there, just thinking, you will just start getting some ideas about, oh, how am I doing this in my business? How am I marketing? Oh, how am I making my cold calls? How am I, making my, say, if you do a weekly email or a weekly video, whatever you're doing. That networking meeting I went to last week, I didn't get any business cards from it. You'll just start getting these businessy thoughts, and you want to write them down because in there is going to be some really amazing nuggets for you to consider. What will happen is your subconscious will just start kind of processing what happens, and you'll start getting these thoughts. Oh, okay, maybe I need to start marketing to this other group of people, or maybe I heard something on the radio a couple of months ago and it talked about something or other, and I could do that myself. I could highlight that target market, or I could use that particular advertising venue. These random thoughts will come into your mind, memories from things you heard people talking about at a chamber breakfast like 3 or 4 months back that you hadn't even been thinking of, and it'll just come back to you all of a sudden. When you get a chance to just quiet your mind and just give yourself the permission to just not be doing stuff, your subconscious will start working, and it will start giving you all these ideas. And even whether it's things you've even thought about before that you wanted to do, but you forgot about, you didn't write them down, and then it was a great idea that just kind of died, your subconscious will remember it and it will say, hey, let's get working on this right now. So you'll think, oh yeah, I was going to start doing a weekly video. I need to start working on that right now. And so just write these down, write all these ideas down. You'll get probably half a dozen ideas. If you just sit there quietly and just let your mind wander, your subconscious will give you all these ideas of things you need to do, whether it's, like I say, maybe it'll tell you, yeah, it's time you really hired that employee you've been thinking about hiring. Or, yeah, it's time to really replace that photocopier. You want to get a nice color one that you can print your own advertising flyers. Or, yes, you need to definitely get out of the home office and go get that lease at that place you looked at back in January. It's still a good idea. You need to take action on it. So this is what your subconscious will help you with in terms of taking action and working your business, improving things in your business, growing your business, being more efficient, being more effective. It's just the most amazing things will come up. So say, as an example, when I did it back 6 or 8 months ago, I came up with an idea that I needed to, number one, change to another ideal client, because the one that I was maybe kind of focusing on at the time didn't seem to be really working very well. I got the information that I need to take that book manuscript that's been sitting, halfway done for 2 years. I need to go back and finish that thing, which I ultimately did. I have my finished manuscript now that I'm working on getting an editor for. It'll remind you of things that you were worried about, like in the previous couple of days, about maybe some bill that you had to pay by the end of the month or was going to have a late charge, whatever it was, you'll get all these great thoughts that come through from your subconscious, and you write them all down, and it'll give you just kind of a grocery list of things that you need to take action on. And things will be all in areas where you will be growing your business, improving your profits, maybe being more efficient, maybe stopping doing things that are wasting your time. You'll realize, oh yeah, I've been putting out that email now for 6 months and nobody's responded to it. So, yeah, I just need to stop doing that. You get these ideas that just flood into your mind, and if you write them all down, you'll get some great nuggets of things to do that will help you with your finances, your profitability, the effectiveness, and a way to maybe reach more of the right ideal client that you want to reach in order to make more of an impact in the community. So that's Bill Gates and his Think Weeks. I think we can all learn from that and take a think afternoon. And I'd say definitely, twice a year would be a great way to do it. It's one of those things where you have to give yourself the permission to take time out of your day. Schedule it in. Find a good time a couple of weeks in advance when you know it'll be a good day for you. You don't have anything pressing, maybe in the morning, so you're not going to be all anxious and agitated. It'll be a nice way to finish off the day, maybe on a nice Thursday afternoon or something, or Friday afternoon. But I'd highly suggest doing that. The times that I've done that, I've gotten some great ideas. Let's see, how are we doing for time? Okay, so we're doing pretty good. Okay, so let's talk about Eric's time management question. There's all kinds of books you can read. There's all kinds of gurus out there that talk about things. A couple that really come to mind for me is, I don't know if you've heard of or read Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Workweek. I would highly recommend that. It's a very easy read. It's a kind of a small book, but he has three main theses in his book. So number one, as a business owner, and even as a person, really, we spend a lot of time, this would be number one, we spend a lot of time doing stuff that doesn't really get us anywhere, doesn't really help us as a business owner, doesn't help us as a person, whether it's just running your home, your relationships with your family and your friends, the time that you have to work out in the community, volunteering. You do a lot of stuff that is kind of meaningless. So you need to look at what you're doing and kind of find out things that you can cross out, whether it's updating your sock drawer or relentlessly nitpicking at the putting away things in your home that are kind of out of place. Whatever it is, some of those things are going to be real time wasters that don't create any value for anybody. So you need to look at where you can take time or take things out of your schedule that are just wasting your time, and be really kind of aggressive on doing that. So that's the one thing. Yes, Eric.
Oh, I was just waving at Yash, who just showed up.
Oh,
he waved Yash. And I waved back.
Glad you can come here today. So that's the first thing. Number one, taking things that you don't really have to do. And he says that, and I agree, he says a lot of people have a lot of things on their plate on a daily basis that really, it could be scrolling through Facebook feeds that are just getting you nothing and going nowhere, watching YouTube videos that are very wasteful and useless. Of course, this one isn't one of those. You want to watch this one. But sometimes you get sucked into that internet trap of watching one video or reading one article, and it goes on to another one and another one and another one. That's really some of the things that you need to be very considerate of. Secondly, and this is kind of the big thing, is what can you delegate? What are you doing right now in your personal life, in your business life, that you can actually pay someone to do and get it off your plate? And the cost benefit, what you pay versus the time you save is really going to be a benefit for you. And it can be anything from washing your car, maybe pay the next door neighbor's teenager to wash your car for you, or mow your lawn, or do some yard chores. Or, nowadays we've got the Uber Eats, and we can get the food from the grocery stores. Taking advantage of those delivery services and picking them up. Like, you go to the grocery store and they do your shopping for you. Some of that, there's little to no fees. It saves you maybe an hour of your time here or an hour of your time there. And it's a great way to get stuff off your plate that gives you back time for doing what you have to do. And, when you start saving those hours here and those hours there, they really add up. And that gets back directly into, I can do more marketing, I can go to more networking meetings, or I can spend more time with my kids. I can take my kids out for an ice cream after dinner and have that hour to spend with them. Or take the time on a weekend to go to the movies with your kids or with your significant other, or if you're younger, your boyfriends and your girlfriends. It's not all work, work, work. It's what is the balance in life, and how can I be more profitable, be happier in my business, and be happier in my life with my family, my friends, the time that I'm volunteering out in the community. So that would be the second one. Delegate as much as you can, and don't worry about the cost initially. There's always ways to find inexpensive and affordable ways to delegate certain pieces of your day. And again, it can be, filing away records in your office. You can hire an assistant to come in for 2 hours a week to clean up your office and file all your notes away. You can delegate some of the other operations of your business. The easy ones, are like the accounting and the bookkeeping and the taxes, but you can also delegate out the marketing. Maybe you're doing your own videos and you're posting them on your website and you're not very good at it. It's very slow. It takes you maybe a couple of hours to do this for some inexpensive costs to your business, which are, also on the other hand, they're still tax deductible too. You can get that all off your plate, have it done to a better quality, and have that time left over to do the things that you need to do as the business owner, which is going to the networking meetings, finding clients, making relationships with other business owners, getting some strategic partnerships going, putting together maybe a presentation or a speech or an online course, So then that's the third part of what Tim Ferriss talks about, is taking the things that only you can do and doing them, a little bit better, a little higher quality with the time that you have gained by all the stuff that you've delegated and you've eliminated. So that gives you, it frees up the bandwidth in your brain to be thinking about less things, and you can concentrate better on the things that you have to concentrate on, only the things that only you can do. Like if you're working on, like say for Eric, maybe the archery or the fencing, working with the students, maybe even taking time yourself to go through your teaching techniques, maybe thinking back of which particular movements or how you actually help them with their stance and their whatever, how do you do that? Maybe there's a better way to do it. Maybe you've gotten, feedback from some students that it went well and feedback from other students that didn't go well. So you have to sit down and kind of do a little after action report on yourself on what was I doing, how was I doing it better, and how was I doing it not so well. And then you start thinking, okay, this is how I want to do it. This is the particular words I'm using, or the particular approach I'm using, or the particular how I'm helping them hold their stance and adjusting their body mechanics. This is how I want to do it every time. So when you've got less junk on your plate, you can actually start doing your job better because you have more time to think it through and do it right. So that would be Tim Ferriss with the 4-hour work week. The second thing is a thing that Brian Tracy calls eating the frog. And what we talk about when we say eating the frog is allocating time in your day, and it may not be every day because it's going to be dependent on your schedule, but a couple of times a week, you plan in advance when you're going to be, meeting clients, when are you going to be marketing, when are you going to be doing your books, if you still do your own books. You schedule your time out in advance, maybe every Sunday night or every Monday morning, very first thing, whatever. But you plan in advance blocks of time that are going to be kind of non-negotiable. You are going to be either working on a new project, or you're going to be doing self-development, whether it's working on a new certification or renewing an old certification, or maybe reading a book on management or a book on interpersonal relationships, whatever it is. But you would schedule that time in advance, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and we call it eating the frog. So you set aside about a 2-hour block, and what you're going to do is you're going to figure out whatever it is you need, whether you're working on drawing up a new online course, or you're going to be drawing up a new marketing campaign. Figure out what tools you need, whether it's your laptop, maybe it's I don't know, a notebook, maybe it's a calculator, or your phone, or some manuals or some textbooks, whatever you need. And you set aside that time, whether you go into your office, or whether you go outside on the picnic table, or whether you drive off to the coffee shop, or you drive off to the beach and sit by the seawall, whatever it is. You set aside that maybe 2 hours, and 2 hours is usually the good time that we look at, for you to have uninterrupted time. You turn off your phone, you turn off your emails, you don't want anything dinging at you, no phone calls, no texts, and you get into the groove, you get into the zone of working on this little project. You do about 45 to 50 minutes, and you just work. You get into a real groove after about 10 or 12 minutes, and you are going to get some really amazing stuff done in that hour. Then you stop. You take just like a 2-minute break. Just get up, walk around, get the blood flowing. Maybe take a sip of tea or coffee or soda, whatever you've got. Not really long enough to lose momentum, but just to clear your head and, like I say, get the blood rushing in your body. And then you get back to work again for another 50 minutes or hour, whatever it is. And when you do that, you will be so amazed at how much you'll accomplish in that 2-hour period. You'll have stuff where you've been trying to get to this and trying to get to that, and it just never seems to be the right time. You never seems to have the opportunity to do it. And you've got this, maybe you got this presentation coming up that you've been trying to work on, and you never get to it. By doing this eat the frog thing that Brian Tracy talks about, you will see that even it's just doing it twice a week, after a couple of weeks, you'll see that you have created all this stuff, all these presentations, these seminars, these courses, these marketing campaigns, whatever has been kind of on the back burner, just not getting anywhere. You'll get these things ticked off your list faster than you can believe it. It's just amazing what this will happen. But I do that all the time. For me, it's usually after dinner. My creative time for me is late at night. So usually between about 9 and midnight is when I can really bust out a lot of really creative stuff. When I wrote my manuscript for my book, a lot of that was after dinner time, in a 9 p.m. to midnight time frame. So it's different for everybody. It's depending on who you're working with, when your clients are available, what kind of marketing you do, when your prospects are available. Maybe you have to make cold calls every morning from 8 to 12, or maybe you have to make cold calls every day from 1 to 3. Whatever your schedule is, it doesn't matter. It can be individual to you, but make it so that it's convenient and you can get all your other things done. You can get all your marketing done. You can get all your networking meetings done. You can get all your chamber breakfasts done. You just find a time in your schedule where you can allocate these little eat the frog 2-hour blocks of time. And maybe it's Thursday morning and Friday afternoon, or maybe it's Monday afternoon and Thursday night, whatever it is. But you start allocating those little 2-hour blocks of time a couple of times a week, and you will just absolutely be amazed at the amount of production you can come through. It's really, it's mind-boggling. So any thoughts or ideas on eating the frog and 4-hour work week? Anything that maybe struck you as something you hadn't thought about before?
They're all concepts that I've heard before over the course of time from various and sundry business coaches and presentations and things like that. So it's just, a matter, I think, of scheduling things. So great. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, that's the hard part. I mean, it's stuff, it's really kind of common sense. And a lot of times you hear it from multiple people. But it's getting to do it is the hard part. Let me see. So one thing that will help with that is having an accountability
Andy's got a
part.
question.
Yeah, I got a question. I was going to actually ask before you brought up that last topic. You talked about taking time out to have a think week or think time, think hour, whatever it happens to be.
Sure.
You make your list of ideas that you have to come up with your plans and whatnot. Is that frog time? Is that a good time to put that plan into action? But I guess my question is really, how do you get from the plan, the list, to this task, this plan, this thought, this idea being complete?
Okay, yeah. Well, the way that we do it in Mind Masters is yearly and quarterly planning. So you have to, in advance, kind of think up with what is your goal? What's the goal for your business for the next couple of years? Where do you want to see your business grow to, say, throughout 2021 and 2022? And what's important to you? Do you want to create more visibility in the community? Do you want to show more credibility? So, for me, writing a book would be one of my big projects to increase both the visibility and the credibility. For someone, it might be just overall bringing in more business, more clients. So that would be either upgrading or really renovating their marketing campaign. Maybe really thinking through who their ideal client is. Maybe they're not specific enough. They're just kind of marketing to everybody, or maybe the target market that they've chosen isn't reacting to their marketing. And maybe there's not really a need in that ideal client community. Maybe you kind of goofed and got it wrong. Maybe you need to reevaluate who your ideal client is. Where is there a need, and where is there a willingness for that clientele to reach out and search for help? Pay for your product or your service. So all those things go back to, where do I want to take my business over the next year to 2 years? Do I need to update a certification so that I can stay legal in running my business? Maybe do I need to duplicate myself? Do I need to bring on a partner because things are working really well? Everything that's working is going properly and I'm making money, but I just don't have enough hours in the day. So you need to kind of replicate yourself, replicate kind of the systems in your business, write them down. So you have like an operations manual on how to do everything that you do, and delegate that out to a second copy of you. Whatever it is, it all comes down to the longer term planning. So a yearly plan or a bi-yearly plan, and then breaking it down to quarterly objectives. That's kind of what we do in Mind Masters. We have a yearly planning conference every January, and then we also have quarterly planning conferences every 3 months. But that's also all very specific to your individual company, you as a person and you as a business owner, and where you want to take it, financially, what you want to have for a personal life. Maybe you want to travel more with your family. So you need to work it so that you can take the time away and things don't grind to a crashing halt because you're out of the country for a week. So setting those maybe systems in place would be one maybe project.
Dave, quick question for you.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
So as far as like having a goal for the business, should it be something that's like, okay, a year or 2 years or 3 years or 5 years? I mean, how far out is like too far out? Or should it be the case where, maybe you're just planning for, where you want to be the business in 2 years as opposed to 10
Sure.
years or something? What's practicable?
I think 2 to 3 years is kind of perfect with a kind of an overall, what do I want to be when I die? What do I want written on my tombstone? Kind of generalized thoughts for the long-term future. If you have goals to grow your business by more employees and then being able to reach more clients, maybe the 20-year goal might be, 20 employees and making $2 million a year or $3 million a year in revenues. So how would you get there in maybe say 10 years or 12 years? Maybe it's growing from 3 employees to 10 employees in the next 2 years, or 3 employees to 5 employees this year, and then growing to 10 employees next year. Little incremental steps. You don't get to the end overnight. You get to the end in incremental little pieces. So look at, in general terms, where you'd like to be, when you can sell your business or when you retire, and then kind of back it off in little pieces throughout the years, and give yourself very doable, very specific measurements of goals to aim for each 6 months or each year over the next, say, 18 months to 2 years. Does that make sense? Let's see. Any other thoughts on the time management? Anything that people had questions on as far as either the eating the frog or delegating and eliminating? Okay, so I would like to announce we're doing a thing called a vision board party down here in San Diego, and I'm inviting anybody who would like to work on that. So the vision boards, does everybody here know what a vision board is?
Have no clue.
I see one yes and one no. Okay, so what a vision board is a big poster board where you put down words and pictures of where you're wanting to take your life, your business life and your personal life, both. You can do a separate one for your business and a separate one for your personal life, or you can mix them together. It doesn't really matter, but the idea is once maybe you've looked at your business goals or your personal goals, pretty concretely for the next couple of years, you write down a series of basically a shopping list. Maybe you want to take a trip to, like my wife and I went to Tahiti for our 25th wedding anniversary. Maybe you want to do more taking time off on the weekends. Maybe you want to go skiing, a couple of times next winter. Maybe you want to just go swimming with your kids. Maybe you want to go walking on the beach. Maybe you want to lose 10 pounds. Maybe you want to have a big, top floor of an office building that your company rents out. All these different types of goals you would put down in a list after you think through them and figuring out which ones are really important to you. And some of them are kind of fleeting. Some of them are just kind of good idea, fairy bombs that aren't really where you want to be going. They seem important at the time, but after you put them in a list and maybe kind of prioritize them and really think about them a little bit, there might be some of these that you just cross off. But whatever you come up with as your final answer, you get an opportunity to put those on this board. You cut out photos and pictures from magazines and newspapers. You cut out words that you want to demonstrate how you want to maybe behave, like you want to be more consistent, you want to be more thoughtful, you want to be more, more genuine or more present, whatever it is. Maybe you want to have more fun. Whatever those types of things are that are goals for you to improve your business and your life, you put those down, and we have a party where we actually get together, and we haven't had a chance to do it because of COVID. So this is going to be the first time we've done it in almost 2 years. It's really crazy. So we're going to be getting together on Saturday, August 21st, down in San Diego, down in La Mesa. And I'm inviting anybody that wants to come down to San Diego for the weekend. It's a great place to spend a couple of days as a vacation. The drive down 5 is really beautiful. And we have some very affordable hotels out here in La Mesa. Get several brand new ones, La Mesa and the adjoining cities that are less than a year old, very nice, very clean, and very affordable. But we're going to be doing this Saturday, August 21st, and it's only $10, which is a kind of a steal. It includes appetizers and all the art supplies. So that would be something that you might consider doing, coming on down to San Diego for the day or for the night, and working on your vision board so that you have a visual replication of your goal so that you can see this every day. You put it either in like your office, or you put it in your bedroom or your bathroom so that you see it every single day, and you can look at the picture of the little you skiing down the slope, or the picture of you with the hard, lean body, or whatever the goals are. You can superimpose a little picture of your face from a photo onto an image of a fitness model, or you can superimpose your face on the skier or the person standing on the yacht. And this is a great way to keep those goals in your mind and keep you thinking about them, because the best way to reach a goal is to be constantly thinking about it, and constantly drawing it to you through people call it the universe or whatever. But if you're not thinking about it, it's very low chance that it's going to happen. You have to really constantly be purposefully thinking about what you want to go, where you want to go, what you want to have, your goals, your commitments, your accomplishments that you want to make happen. So a vision board is one of the best ways to do that. Plus, it's just a lot of fun. We get together. We've done this many years over the past years. We've done them, and it's just a lot of fun. You get the chance to meet some other nice business owners. And so in this particular case, we're going to have it at a nice little deli in La Mesa, California, and we're going to have some beers and some wines. I'm going to the $10 includes the appetizers and the soft drinks, and the art supplies, the poster board and the glue sticks and the magazines and the scissors. And you get a chance to kind of combine your ideas with the people that you're working with. We have a nice little outdoor patio that's got some palm trees and some picnic tables and some AstroTurf. It's really a fun little area, and it's just a great environment for some good creativity. So I highly recommend coming down to that. And I do have another offer for anybody that's watching the video today. If you would like to come visit our Mind Masters Zoom meeting, we offer any business owner to come to visit us 2 times for free without any obligation, and sit down and go through our mastermind process. We do the training, we do the brainstorming, we do the accountability partnering with you to keep so that whatever your commitment for the week is, we help you make sure that you do it. And we allow people to come in and visit us with no obligation for 2 weekly visits. And these are every week. There's only a couple of weeks throughout the year that we go dark, usually like around Christmas time. But we do meet every week. A lot of masterminds out there only meet monthly. We meet every single week, and it gives people that kind of hand holding that they need to keep them going, from day to day, from week to week, to get their goals in place. So I offer anybody to come visit us 2 times for free. And we are on Zoom, and we have some very good groups. I meet my groups Wednesday and Thursday mornings. So if anybody has any interest, maybe we can have my contact information on the website, maybe underneath the video, and they can give me a call. And we'd love to see you come visit us 2 times at Mind Masters. It's a lot of fun. Have some great groups, really great business owners, and try out some of this visualization and the time management and the accountability partnering, and get you to get some great accomplishments 2 weeks in a row.
That sounds great.
So
Thank
I
you,
think
Dave.
about it, unless we have any questions. Any last minute thoughts from anybody?
I'm a firm believer in mastermind groups. I tried to put one together many, many years ago. It's just really, really nice. I think, Eric, you've probably done them before, where it's just nice to bounce ideas off people. And sometimes they come up with something that you kind of thought of but forgot, like you mentioned before, or
Yes, absolutely.
you're so busy in the minutia of your business, you don't think outside, see the forest for the trees kind of thing.
Yep.
And just go, what an easy solution. I never even thought of it. So
Yeah, exactly.
the Zoom is so easy. I'm definitely going to check it out. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I just came from my Wednesday morning meeting just a little while ago, just about a half an hour before the meeting here. We had a great discussion talking about King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table.
Uh-oh, that's right up Eric's alley.
Yeah, archery and fencing. So yeah, that was a good meeting too. We've been having a lot of good meetings every week the last couple of months.
Can you put your information in the chat, and then I'll be happy to send it out too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I really appreciate your time. I know that we do. I'm glad that Eric's recording this for YouTube, and we'll definitely share the recording with the people who weren't able to come. This time of year, it's so tough with people traveling. I've sent emails out and got a lot of automatic responses. People are out of town. So,
Right. Oh, yeah.
I appreciate you talking to our very small but mighty group.
There you go. Small but mighty.
Yeah, it's kind of our chamber motto anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I looked at your website earlier. I saw some of the pictures from the power networking, and that was really great. The Mr. D's Diner, kind of a fun little place.
Yeah, we're very, very, very busy. So
Yeah.
supporting our small businesses. So
Absolutely.